Hi, I'm Michelle. Welcome back. In this video, I want to talk to you about some revelations I made, some realizations I made on a recent trip with some girlfriends. There's a saying, two's company, three's a crowd. Usually what it refers to is an extra person. You know, you talk about a fifth wheel where there would be two couples and one extra person, but it's just that odd number. The odd number when there are people around. You know, you think that people pair up in even numbers and then there's somebody who's left out. Well, I don't think so. I reject that idea, at least for traveling, at least in our situation. So the reason it came to my mind is because there are just situations that happen where if you don't pay attention, you can get into the three's a crowd situation. And what we're talking about there is if somebody has resentment or somebody feels ganged up on, or somebody's not listened to or doesn't get to do anything they want to do, and it's just not a smooth situation. Now, hopefully, here I'm talking about traveling for pleasure. If it's traveling for work, you're going to have other dynamics and probably less issues because you're there for a particular purpose. Somebody's in charge. People have a job to do. You just go, do the task. Maybe there's a little extra for fun, and go out to dinner, have a lunch, go back to your own rooms, and then go home. But when you're traveling socially, you know, for fun, you're sharing accommodations. You could be sharing bathrooms. You could be sharing bedrooms. You could be on a tour on your own. And there are just all kinds of different things that come up that can be amplified or can make a little bump in the road a bigger deal. And I just thought that we could talk about some things that could help lessen that situation. And additionally, one of the things would be experienced or less experienced travelers. So anyway, I was on this trip with two friends. None of us we hadn't all traveled. We've all traveled together in different combinations, but not all together before. This was our first trip, and we had a condo. We had that had two bedrooms, so two of us had to double up, and one was on their own. Then I got sick, so now we have two healthy people, one sick person. Then we have two people who can drive and one person who can't drive the car. So you just have a different situation. We all had a couple of activities that we were all going to do together. The purpose was just for fun. There wasn't a huge set agenda. But on every trip, people have expectations and on things that they want to do. And so you hope that everyone can accommodate the others, but it's going to be up to you to speak up on the things that you want to do. So, you know, think about that and don't sit back and stew or get upset when people don't come and ask you. You need to assert yourself. I always have one or two things that I really want to do based upon the destination because that's why I'm going there. Or with friends, like these friends, we were going to play golf. Well, so that's great. And we all did several times, but it's unrealistic to think that you're all going to do everything all the time together. And I'm not sure that that's the best way to be or not. I guess it depends on the dynamic of your friendship. But anyway, these few things I just realized because we were set up in different combinations for somebody to feel left out. And then after that can come resentment and anger. And then you can have arguments or you can have a whole, bad trip. So identify what you want to do for yourself. And be prepared to do it on your own. Either book it with a tour, make your own arrangements, because everybody doesn't like what you like. And if there's something that you really want to do, don't blame them if you don't get to do it. If there was opportunity, you could have taken that opportunity, made the arrangements and do it, then do it. Now, we were all seasoned travelers, so and we know each other. So some of the situations that may arise may be due to the fact that somebody or maybe everybody on the trip hasn't traveled either together before or traveled at all. Whether it's domestic or international, there are going to be different challenges and different things that you have to keep track of. Different people have systems, and in another video I'm going to tell you a little bit about my system to keep myself on track. Make sure you don't, little things like what do we call it? I'm trying to think of what we called it. When you go around the hotel the last time and make sure that you haven't left anything. I've left things. It can be expensive having things sent back, or you could lose something. So anyway, that'll be set out on a different thing. So you need to keep track of yourself and your activities. Sorry, I digress. Then the next thing is like, here, I got sick, so they're not my doctor. I need to, be able to take care of myself, keep my germs away from them, and even let them rearrange the accommodations if I need to be quarantined, and bow out of different situations so I don't expose them to my germs. So there's that situation. Then you also have, in that case, this didn't happen, but if I was sick and stayed behind, you can see where, okay, I don't feel good, but now I'm watching my friends have all this great fun and they're talking about it. Now they've got little inside jokes. They had things that happened during the day, and hearing about it isn't always the same as participating in it, and you can get your feelings hurt. Well, here's the gist of what I want to talk about. Take the initiative to make sure that your expectations are met, and either in advance of the trip or once you're there, feel each other out about what you want to do, so that everybody gets to do what there's space and time for them to do what they want. But then spend time with each other. You make the effort to spend time. It doesn't have to be a long time, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes with the individual people, and connecting one-on-one. Travel is such a great bonding experience. I've made I've made great friends traveling, and also have really improved existing relationships, both with friends and family, when we travel together, because you get that concentrated time and you get that sense of adventure, and you have shared memories, and the crazy things that happen, or it could even be just a great meal or a terrible meal. Some of those go down in infamy, and it's a finite period of time. So, be on your best behavior, and have your expectations, make them realistic. So then if there is a situation where it looks like one person could be on the outs, okay, maybe you're the one that's on the outs. Don't sit there and mope. Go in and talk to the people. You have everybody's probably not a stranger, and just talk to them one at a time. You don't need to talk about the fact that the elephant in the room, that you feel bad or you're feeling left out. No, accept that. Now just bond with them. Talk to them about what the next activity is going to be. Set something up with them. Talk about, participate in the decision for where the next meal is going to be, or who's going to be cooking, or if there are errands to run. Be considerate. And if there are 3 and one person is home, and you're the 2 that are out running around, be realistic and think about how they feel. So bring the stories back to them, incorporate them into it, and then each of you two spend time with that person, and then do that in different combinations. You don't call each other out. Just accept the situation, recognize it, and deal with it. Life doesn't have to be so hard. You definitely don't want to blow up friendship over some silly misunderstanding on a trip, and it can completely be avoided. So if those situations come up, just recognize them and then deal with it. Likewise, if somebody is really uncomfortable and they're out of their element, give them some space. Everybody needs space. I don't care how gregarious or extroverted you are. Everybody can use a little bit of space, whether it's extra time in the morning, or turning in early at night, or just vegging out by the pool, or going to get a morning workout, or take a walk, or if there's a dog, take the dog for a walk, or go get gas, or run and get coffee. If you need the time, take the time, and give other people space so they can have the time. Before you flop down and turn on the TV when somebody's reading a book, talk to them and see if that's what's going on. Like for me, I came in, they were watching a Netflix series, and one was showing the other. So, just sit there and watch it, or let them have their time, or whatever. So be unselfish, be generous, and be tolerant, and have a great time. I love traveling. If you want to hear more videos, just follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, or subscribe. Thanks.